And we are back live from the Consol Complex here in Indiana. This is Gas Expo 2011. And we are in the Toretti Auditorium. We've got a nice audience here today. And hopefully at the end of this forum, we will get some questions from the audience if we have enough time. We are here with a wonderful panel. One new panel member that was an alternate, and he is here with us today, and he is Perry Harris. He's the Northeast U.S. Area Operations Manager for Halliburton. We also have from Consol Energy, Craig Neal, Vice President of Operations, and we have John Perry, who's with us, an industry expert, knows a lot about OSHA and safety, and that's what this panel is all about. We're talking safety today here. Probably one of the hottest questions in the industry is safety, environment, and before the break, I posed the question that some residents feel. As a matter of fact, I heard this question last year at this forum. One resident said, you guys are going to come in here and take all of our gas and leave, and we're going to be left with the cleanup. What plans are in place for infrastructure, fixing the roads? There's going to be a lot of heavy equipment. We already see an increase in traffic. We see a lot of the trucks around Indiana County. That's going to wear the roads down. We need more salt in the winter to keep the roads clean, so on and so forth. So what do you guys have? What are your plans when you leave? And you're going to be here for a long time too, by the way. So we're not talking about you're going to split here a month from now. But what are the plans?
I've been here a long time already, so I don't plan on going anywhere. And the people who live along the highways that we will travel on, we make a point to contact them personally. Tim Evans, our land manager, and his team, Mike Gadsky, our construction coordinator, they stop by and physically knock on a door and explain to people what's happening, explain to them the duration of time that we'll be on the roads. And in many cases, particularly if it's a township highway, it's not really constructed at this point, if it hasn't seen heavy equipment on it before, to handle these type of roads, and we acknowledge that. We explain that to the public. We'll go in and do upfront maintenance to upgrade that road, continual maintenance through that process. And when we leave, I can assure you the road will be in better condition than what we found it, because they will have a good base under it, and we will put a new surface on it when we finish. So I think people will be pleased with the way Consol will handle the situation. And we spent $4 million last year repairing, upgrading public highways in Pennsylvania.
Perry Harris from Halliburton.
Yeah, most of the road issues for us, all of our trucks we pay road taxes on. Those fees go back to the road crews to make repairs and stuff. But we typically are only a service company. We're working for oil and gas companies, so we typically are bonded through them to drive on their roads and all. But we do pay taxes as part of our road use tax to all of our vehicles, all of our heavy-duty vehicles that go to the repairs.
Let me ask you this question, because right now it is a topic in Harrisburg and here in Pennsylvania about whether or not to increase or to tax the gas industry for the extraction of natural gas. I don't know that I've heard anyone ask the question, should the companies pay more? You are paying your road taxes. Do you think the companies ought to kick in a little bit more money when it comes to road repair and so forth? Would that be a fair thing?
Well, in what I just described, Jim, we do 100% pay for those road repairs. If they're state roads with a weight limit, if they're township roads, period, if there's repairs required, we pay for 100% of those repairs.
Okay, very good. Another question I have with the environment, the nation's pipeline infrastructure is getting a little bit old, especially here in Pennsylvania. Some of the lines are as much as 50 years old, the infrastructure lines, pipeline system. Do you think we're okay? This is going to have to carry some gas through the area. Do you think we're good as far as the pipelines are concerned? Do you think that's an environmental issue or a concern? Pipeline system going to be able to handle it?
Well, I did see something recently where People's Natural Gas, one of the local companies, put in a request for funding to upgrade their pipeline systems. That's something that the Public Utility Commission would have to approve. The very positive thing out of the Marcellus development is, one, the pipelines that are in place that we're used to, the low pressure gathering systems, are really not designed to handle this capacity of gas. New construction will have to be installed. It will be put in state-of-the-art systems, designed. In our case, we design with 100% safety factor. We put in systems that will cathodically protect the pipe, meaning to avoid corrosion on that pipe. And we'll be doing routine inspections of it, including a process called smart pigging, where you run a device through the inside of the pipe that actually measures the wall thickness of the steel pipelines to assure that we have sufficient thickness to contain the gas.
And let's go to John Pina down there at the end, and John knows a lot about OSHA and the industry. And John, environmental concerns that we have here in Indiana County, of course across the state of Pennsylvania, but we're most concerned with us right here in Indiana County. Do you think that the environmental concerns are valid concerns when it comes to whether the pipelines can handle the extra natural gas, whether or not the roads are going to get fixed up, whether or not we're going to have pollution in our water system, on and on and on and on? Could you maybe talk a bit about the environmental issues and whether residents need to panic at this point, or is everything going to be okay?
I think a lot of the skepticism is a result of what happened in past practices. Back in the turn of the century, there were no regulations whatsoever on mining. A lot of the streams in the county, especially here, have been contaminated. They do support trout now, but the insect life is pretty much gone. A lot of the damages are irreversible when it comes to the environment. The economy goes up and down, but you destroy the environment. So I think a lot of the skepticism is a result of that. But back in the 70s, we had all these acts passed. OSHA Act 1970, EPA came in that decade. Also TSCA, the Toxic Substance Control Act. A lot of these regulations were put in place 30, 40 years ago. So there is enforcement today. So I don't think we have to worry near as much. Not that it's not going to happen, but we're a lot better off today than we were 40, 50, 60 years ago and beyond.
Well, what kind of options do landowners have, John? Obviously, they have more options than they did, as you say, years and years ago. But landowners that have concerns, who do they go to, and what are their rights?
Well, primarily go to PADEP, the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. That's the state, not so much the federal government. And there's reporting numbers. Anybody can call in. I believe there's a whistleblower protection there, where you don't have to reveal your name. They want to hear it, I guess, but I've never reported anybody, so I don't have any experience with that. But they don't have enough people. But if you do call them in, they're going to act upon it, I would hope. So there's the internet today. There's numbers to look up there. Years ago, we could call in and we never got an answer. Today, plus we have the Evergreen Conservancy. We have Trout Unlimited. There's people that are doing monitoring in the streams, real-time monitoring, meaning continual, without waiting for days for sample results. So the technology's there, primarily today. The smart pig in the line, as Craig mentioned, we have the technology which we didn't have years ago. So as far as the landowner goes, reporting is again the way to go.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We're gonna find
nowhere to hide.
And as far as the landowners are concerned, now typically, what happens when one of the companies? First of all, how do you find out where the deposits are? You just don't walk up and knock on somebody's door and say, "Hey, can we go poke around in your backyard?" What is the process?
Well, we have a staff of geosciences here in Indiana who will select the drilling locations for us. The Marcellus is a bit of a blanket deposit across this section of Pennsylvania, fortunately. But there are better quality rock one place or another. Quite honestly, there's not been enough drilling to really completely understand that yet. there's